Right, hello everyone. My name is Michelle Mackenzie. I am the CEO and founder of Reflective Line Publishing. And today I have a guest. Is it Marion Loeid? Is that how I pronounce it?
Yeah, close. Marion Lougheed.
I thought I might have pronounced that wrong.
Everybody does. It was a good try.
Someone pronounced my name wrong once. Well, twice. I was either called Mitchell or Michael. And I'm like, no, it's Michelle. Pretend the C's are an S, yeah? Michelle. So, I said I am the CEO, founder of Reflective Line Publishing. I publish in mostly fiction and fantasy and supernatural and mystery and a bit of thriller. So a various wide scope. And you are a publisher as well, right?
I am, yeah. So mine is called Off Topic Publishing. It's pretty new, so sort of just feeling things out a bit still. But so far, I've done some poetry chapbooks and some fiction, and I'm just getting ready to launch an open call for some nonfiction as well. So all genres. I like pretty much everything. So I like to keep it open.
When did you launch yours?
I originally launched it in 2017. I created it first as a magazine, but then I only did that for a year, and I wasn't getting submissions. And I mean, I was getting a few, but it wasn't like I didn't really know what I was doing, and so it didn't go so well.
It's all a learning curve, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But then, so I relaunched it first as just a contest. So I would just publish the winning piece, an off-topic contest every month, and then from there I kind of started doing bigger projects and more like book publishing, which is what it is now. And that was just last year, actually. In April was the first off-topic contest, and so it's basically been a year.
Oh, nice. So you've like you're a few months ahead of me. I launched, like officially launched, like beginning of this year when I announced it, but I set mine up in October last year, well August last year, but I had the set up before announcing it to people.
Mm-hmm.
What's what you're finding it like lessons we've learned like through this year, like easiest lessons and the hardest lessons you've had to learn like during this curve?
I think one of the biggest things for me was just learning what it is that I like to do and what I can do, because I think it's easy to kind of chase the market, and I'm also a writer, so
yeah,
you know, you kind of want to make money a little bit at least sometimes if you're trying to do it professionally, and it's so hard. The arts are so underpaid, and so that's one of my big concerns at Off Topic, is to try to pay people, but it's, you know, you have to have the income as well to do that, so it's kind of that's been a struggle. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, but I think really kind of focusing on what it is that I like to do and what I can do, what I'm good at, what I can bring out in its best light, you know, even if it's not the most popular thing. It's something that I can do.
Yeah.
I think that was an important lesson, to not just try to chase the market or try to be something other than what it is, you know, like there's room for lots of different kinds of things, and so just to do the ones that you like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Right, how about you?
Like what I'm doing is like I take like I split the profit royalty share. So like 50% will go straight to the author, and the other 50% will go to like the business and the staff that dealt with like publishing the book. That way, like the majority of the royalties will go to the author, and we get a few pence as well. Yeah. Hard working out that margin, like otherwise we'll be doing it for free.
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, there's a lot of that goes on, and it's great. I mean, it's great to have stories out in the world regardless of the financial aspect. But like people need to eat and take care of their kids, and you know, go to the movies once in a while. So
yeah,
it is part of it. It's the unglamorous part, but it's true.
What about the easiest lesson that you've learned during this curve? Like the first thing that I thought, yes, no.
I think the easiest lesson for me is to just kind of build a bit of a community of people that are interested in each other's work, because you know, marketing is obviously something that needs to happen, but I think it's if people are already interested and genuinely interested and supportive of one another, then it's a little bit less businessy in the sort of traditional sense and more like a project you're all working on together for mutual support. And I think that's kind of the mindset I had at the beginning. And
that's the mindset as well here. Yeah, it's like a team effort, like support / like making sure like everyone is happy with like the formatting and like the font used and the cover. So like so giving them the support and taking the headache out of the publishing side of it. That's what I would like to take out from it. Like when like I got asked earlier, like the benefits of like having someone else publish it for you. It's like, well, my answer was it's just taking away the headache.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Like from the editing and like the formatting, because the formatting is a big headache. Yeah, I'm worried about
definitely my least favorite part.
And the promotion and the advertising and the financial side of it as well, because we know it can cost hundreds of thousands to like each stage of editing. It's just like a big headache, and like they don't have to work. The authors don't have to worry about that big headache.
Exactly.
Is that the same like mindset that you have, like benefit wise, from publishing with you rather than doing it themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. Taking all the headache out and time as well, right? Because if you're doing all the formatting and the layout and the finding a designer to do your cover and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot of time, right, that you could be spending writing your next book. And I think that's important. And of course, the other benefit is if you have a publisher, then the publisher is not just publishing your books, and so they have a network of people that are interested in things they're putting out, and so they might come across your book because they like a different author or something. And so there's also that being part of this community again, kind of, and you're not as much on your own, right? If you have questions or you have problems, there's someone to ask who might know or could connect you to someone who's doing similar work, maybe for some cross promotion or whatever it is.
It's like that's why I like newsletters and that, and I'm going to be like promoting like newsletter swaps, so like have each other's work like on their newsletter to give like a wider, like a broader audience, and get the word out, as well as their own books.
And like I was able to secure a blurb from a pretty established Canadian author, Michael Blouin, who actually has his own novel coming out next month, I think. It's called I Am Billy the Kid. So he's not with me, he's with a different publisher, but because I connected with him, he very generously agreed to read, and if he liked it, to blurb the poetry chapbook that I just published called All Forgotten Now by Jennifer Mariani. And so, you have those connections that you can bring to your authors. They don't have to cold call or ask people they don't know, right? So it really, I mean, I think self-publishing is great if you can do it. I wouldn't say 100%. You shouldn't do that. But I certainly think there are benefits in terms of the headache, like you said, and also these connections.
Yeah, and then having to like make sure that they're editing, and there's no errors that slip through, because you get kind of like blindsided by your own work, I find. it's easier to see someone else's mistakes, but but when you look at your own, it's a lot harder to see where the errors are.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, and I'm an editor as well, a freelance editor, and I have a professional writing diploma. So I'm actually trained as an editor, and so I can do a lot of that myself, and so it also just keeps it all more streamlined. So, they don't have to worry about it. But I wouldn't. I mean, you can edit your own work so far, but I totally agree that you can't see it the same way.
You need that fresh eyes, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get started with your publishing company? What gave you the motivation to do it?
Well, I think it was having a group. So during COVID, like a lot of people, I was spending a lot of time at home and a lot of time on social media. And so I connected with this online Facebook group of Canadian writers. It's run by the CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company, but it's open to all kinds of different Canadian writers, and it's called Canada Writes. And so I was kind of spending some time in there.
It's got a catch.
And
it's quite catchy.
Yeah. And so
it's a good one.
Yeah, it kind of motivated me. It kind of motivated me to see all the great work that people were publishing or were posting in the group. So they're sort of publishing it, but not officially. And I was like, it'd be so great to have a home for some of this stuff, like to be able to bring this out into the world to a wider audience. So that was kind of and already being an editor as well, like I said, I mean, it was a little bit of a logical step. I did an internship at a publisher in Newfoundland in Canada called Flanker Press in 2010. It was a long time ago now, but that was my first taste of traditional publishing from the inside. And I thought, I could do this. It's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work, but if you kind of, like I said, figure out what it is that you want to do and focus on that, your own strengths, and not just try to do everything, then it sounds like you have your specific genres that you really focus on, right? So that's you saying, this is what I do.
It's like mine. It's like mine's slightly newer than yours. It's like picking the ones at the moment that I'm more passionate about. But if there's a market and people are writing other things and they want to publish with me, I'd quite happily take it.
Right.
Yeah. If there's a market for it, and if people are saying, I've got this, but it's not in your, it's not mentioned on your website, and I'll be like, well, I'm not going to say no. It's like it's just not on the widest prospect of it at the moment. But if people keep asking me about other genres, then I'll include it as well. It's just the ones that I'm focusing on, but I won't exclude it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. You kind of know where you're aiming, but it's not exclusive. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you said you're a writer as well. Are you writing anything at the moment?
I'm not. Well, I write lots of different kinds of things. So I write poetry and I write fiction, short and long, and I'm also working on a PhD dissertation, so academic stuff.
You've got a few bits going on.
A few balls in the air, but I'm not actively working on any fiction right now. I have a few pieces in progress and a few publications on mostly smaller outlets. I have some poetry.
Multiple projects at once. You don't do one at a time.
No, not usually, unless I see some kind of call or anthology or something that I say, I'll write something for that, and then I kind of just focus on that for a few weeks or however long. I mean, poetry is obviously short, so you write a poem. It doesn't, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. Yeah.
But mostly that's what I've been doing is poetry, and I think that's why, because I've been doing a lot of the off-topic stuff. It's getting All Forgotten Now out was kind of the big thing, and the closer you get to launch, right, the more work there is. But there's other projects. We have an anthology called Wayward and Upward. So it's inspired by music, and
is that like
40 pieces in it.
That you're running, or is that a different thing?
That's a separate thing, yeah. So the contest is ongoing every month, and those are just going up on the website, offtopicpublishing.com right now.
Oh, yeah.
But I am thinking of doing maybe an anthology of those as well. You know, it's it's easy to come up with project ideas. It's harder to do them all. But yeah, so there's a few different things like that. So I haven't been doing too much of my own writing, unfortunately. Do you write as well, or?
I do, yeah. I write like thriller / mystery, like kind of stories. My recent one that is almost ready to be let out into the light wide. So it's my story called The Storm Within, which is the first book of a series of like the Dark Queen series about a high school reunion, and the main character called Vicky gets absolutely humidified and sacrificed socially, and kind of like switches and brings out a whole new personality and kind of goes on a bit of a rampage. It goes very, very, very badly.
That sounds fun.
So I've called it The Storm Within. Yeah, so hopefully I'm looking at mid next month for pre-orders for like the final project edition of that book. I've got it perfect.
Cool, yeah.
It's just taken
there's always those last minute tweaks, right?
Yeah, you know, and seeing like how people respond to the covers, and yeah, like trying it out, see if people like it or not. But I think I've finally got it to the way where like it looks all right, and like there's starting to draw some positive feedback. I'm like, yay!
Yeah,
marketing, woo!
Everyone's favorite part.
Right. And one of the authors I'm signing up should be receiving her proof copy today, which is all very exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Majesta Dawn will be getting a supernatural Supermom story, which the cover is beautiful. So hopefully she'll like it.
Oh, nice.
I should be hearing from her later on today, which is going to be great.
Great, yeah. That's always exciting.
Yes, isn't it? Have you got any new releases and authors coming?
Well, there's the chapbook I mentioned, the poetry one, All Forgotten Now. Then I have 2 open calls right now for chapbooks with multiple authors. So that's a single author one. So there's one on the theme of home and one on the theme of exhaustion. So home is closing in a couple of days, and then so that's for poetry and flash fiction. So they're just going to be really short. And then I'm in discussion with an author for another single author poetry chapbook, but we have to kind of cross all our T's and dot all our I's before we're sure that we can release it. So I can't say too much about that one. Yeah, I think that's it. There's the Wayward and Upward anthology that I mentioned. We also have I do a poetry box series. So every month we publish a poem on a postcard, and we send it out to subscribers so it's a physical postcard with artwork and then a poem and some tea. And so it's organic tea from a local company in Calgary, Alberta, and then with some chocolate as well. So it's a different sample of chocolate and tea every month with the postcard. So that's called the Poetry Box. So that's kind of an ongoing thing. There's always a different poet. I'm always taking submissions for that. So that's kind of the main things right now.
No, brilliant. What do you do to like to promote the anthology books to before they come out? Do you put them on the pre-order or do you just release?
So for Wayward and Upward, I ran a Kickstarter. So Kickstarter is good if you have a community. You have to already have your community built in, right?
Yeah.
And I set the goal kind of low because it's not going to cover all of the costs. Because as I said, I try to pay. So every story is getting paid $100, and every poem is getting paid $50. So it adds up to $2,500, right? So it's not cheap, and that's just to pay them. That's not the designer, all the printing, the other things. So I did that, and that also works as promo, right? Because people hear about the Kickstarter and they pre-order their copies and stuff like that. But I haven't really started a major campaign for that one yet. It's I will be, using social media obviously and posting bits from some of the pieces so people can get a little sample of it, going on podcasts and maybe asking some of the authors if they might want to go on podcasts as well, or those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. And I'll write a press release to send out to reviewers and, local outlets for various locations where the authors live. So if there's something interesting there, and because it's also based on music, right? So some music magazines or musicians that might be interested in.
So you can get quite a wide reach.
Yeah, you sort of target it to whatever your project is, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, brilliant.
And I don't need to sell 1 million copies, right? It's just the people that would actually be interested in the project, hoping to reach them, right? So it's kind of to find them.
100%.
What's your strategy?
Well, I have like a whole list for advertising and promoting, like cover reveals, videos promoting the books, newsletters, social media, sending copies to ARC readers for reviews. I send out promotional packs like posters, bookmarks, leaflets, a few copies of the book as well. Mm-hmm. So like she can like sell to like family and friends or give them away to whoever. Mm-hmm. Amazon advertisements, Q&As about like with authors, and setting up guest appearances and podcasts and stuff as well. So like I have a whole list like promotion and stuff. But, it is hard work.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. That's why some people, that's their full-time job, is being a publicist. Yeah. It's there's definitely no end to what you can do. I have a mailing list as well, so obviously send out to that. And the Poetry Box subscribers often get discounts on products as well. So this month we sent out a code for $2 off the All Forgotten Now chapbook, because that's the latest thing. So if you subscribe to the Poetry Box, you also get other benefits sometimes. So that's kind of a built-in thing. Yeah.
Oh, my back is killing me.
It's not good.
No, I really am hoping that thing is not going to be happening. Because I really don't need to think about it now. It is playing on my mind just a little bit.
Yeah.
When it was clear some years ago, 3 is quite enough. Really don't want to have a fourth.
Oh. But yeah, so how did you get interested in publishing?
Well, I've wanted to be a publisher for years, like, because I love reading other books and I love like writing and the publishing process. And that's for like the feeling, when your book's in your hand, and like you're seeing it in person for the first time, you get that feeling, like all giddy kind of feeling. You're like, yay, sort of thing. Dance. And I thought, I want to be able to give that to other people as well, like, and have them feel and see the physical your book and have that giddy, happy dance moment sort of thing. Yeah, it's something to be proud of, isn't it? You know, and it's an accomplishment. You know, and I want to be able to give that to other people as well. So I thought, well, if I'm going to publish my own books, and I'm my oldest daughter, she's published a book as well. I published her book, The Anderson Curse. Natasha Rose Mackenzie, which also can be found on Amazon. Quick plug-in. But yeah, so I thought, well, I'm doing it for my kids. You know, I can do it for other people. You know, and I thought it's just something, you know, it's just like a passion I found. And I thought it's taken me ages to get to the point where I'm confident enough to be able to offer that. Like after like all the learning curve and working out how things work. And I just thought, you know, I've got to the point now where I'm ready to have that, you know, to have that step. I've actually got competition running myself as well. Revolving around Earth Day. I don't know if it's you've got Earth Day down your end. I don't know if it's just a UK thing or a global thing. So I think I know like some days are like different to like other countries. Like Mother's Day is different in various places. But yeah, I thought revolving around Earth Day, I thought that the kids can write a short story, you know, about saving the world, saving the planet, like whether it's just like saving the world from enemies or natural disaster, or you know, just the big picture kind of stuff. And I thought it'd be like a good way to get them into writing and reading as well and get their confidence up. And that's coming to a close. It's what 2 days left on that competition, and the winners will get a free copy of their book and royalties and a little code that they can use if they want to publish other works as well if they're into writing, which I thought would be a nice thing to do. Would it be a really good idea?
Great. So how do you find the authors? Like, how do you sort of reach out to people, or do they reach out to you, or how does it work?
So I promote my business on all over social media, like friends and family, on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Like I am all over social media, so I'm constantly promoting and advertising my business. Then I've got a couple already that have that I'm publishing for. So it's just getting the word out, really. You know, again, it's hard. It's one thing. It's like people usually don't read anymore. Like that's what I'm hearing a lot. Sorry, I don't read. I'm like, how do you not read? You read everything. You know, like text messages, social media, TikTok, everything involves reading. You read. You know, don't read books. I don't understand why.
Yeah, there's some of that. My strategy is to just, you know, not worry about the people that don't read and just find the people who do read. There's a lot of people. What social media is for. Yeah, I used to work in a bookstore, and there's a lot of people buying books, so somebody's reading.
Which is awesome. I'd love to work in a bookstore.
It was pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think publishing's the next best. I think publishing is better though, because then you get to like see what books are coming out and get to have like first glance at like future bestsellers. You know, rather than just like giving them away and selling them. You get to be part of that process.
Yeah, I like it, obviously. I agree. You also get to be your own boss, so
Yeah,
that's a nice thing too.
you get to wear comfortable clothes. You don't have to worry about wearing suits.
Exactly.
Sitting in an office, just laptop, nice little office, have a cup of coffee. It's great.
Yeah.
Get to work. You get to work from anywhere.
Exactly.
It's all done by computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank goodness for print on demand. But, otherwise, you'd have to find the space like the stock books and
that's
printers
exactly.
and manufacturing stuff and all that costs. But that'll be later down the line, I think. I've got my eyes set for that.
Yeah.
Get my goal, like maybe naive, but my goal I want my publishing company's name to be bigger than Gryffindor. It's like, ambitious, but that's my goal. I want to be bigger than Gryffindor. What's your what's your goal? Like, do you have that? Yeah, I want to be bigger than this. Or
I mean, kind of. I mean, obviously, I'd love to for it to be a household name. I mean, who wouldn't want their company to be a household name?
Right.
But I kind of, I do it as in addition to other things. So realistically, it's not. I mean, I'd have to be making enough income to hire other people if I was going to make it too big. So at the moment, my goal is to kind of my immediate goal is to get out a few things so people can start to see what kinds of things I publish, and then have a bit of a store so people can look at all the items in one spot. And I'm kind of just keep fostering writers and fostering readers, as well, as you were saying, like trying to find stuff that people would actually love to read and enjoy reading. And a lot of the things I've been putting out are short, and I think it's partly just because it's an easier, more manageable project for me, especially when there's multiple authors involved. As I'm learning the ropes a bit, I want to make sure that each project is good, so doing what's manageable. But it's also, I think, people can take that and read it in. So the very first publication I did, other than the contest, was also a poetry chapbook called Wanderers: Poems from Those Who Cross Borders. And
oh, nice.
It's just a little chapbook, and there's about 18 poems, and you can read them one at a time over a month if you want, or you can sit and just read it all the way through while you're eating your lunch, right? And I kind of like that flexibility of that model, that it's something you can kind of take it and absorb it, and then move on for a while, and maybe come back to one of the poems that stuck with you, or like that kind of thing. So it's kind of like that way that I'm approaching it.
Oh, nice. Have you got like a website for that people can go on? I think you've mentioned it before.
Yeah, so it's offtopicpublishing.com.
Is that all one word?
All one word, yeah, all small letters, Off Topic Publishing.
Topic.
And the books, you can see the book projects at /books, or if you're a writer and you want to submit something, you can see the open calls at Off Topic Publishing /open calls. But it's all there in the menu. Yeah.
Nice. I can put that in the description below for people to look at and go into.
Thanks.
It's all right. As well as in the books that you mentioned as well. I'll put the link. I'll drop the links there as well.
Great.
So you can send me links for those, so that I can add it to the description. And just give me one moment. I need to go and check my kids' dinner. Want to be a sec?
Okay.
And I'm back.
Great. Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh. Let's see what else there is. Look at my list. Earlier we talked about lessons learned, and you found like knowing your limits was lessons that you learned.
Mm-hmm.
The lessons I learned is when to take a break. Because like it's just things that always have to be done in like the admin bit, and just think, I'll just have a look at this whilst I'm having a cup of coffee, even though it's a weekend. I think I'll just do this. This will only take me 5 minutes, and next thing I know, I've spent half the day doing it, and it was supposed to be my day off.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the challenges. It's you have to take breaks.
It's so easy just to slip into it, isn't it? It's just like that one bit. You just think, well, just have a look, so that I know what I'm doing when I open again. I ended up working through the weekend.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's hard when you work from home and you're your own boss, and there's a lot of work to do, and it never ends. It's hard to kind of just really take a break, take a day or even a couple of days off.
So I think it's why challenges. Weekends are like important.
Yeah, or you work till like midnight instead of.
Yeah, I'm just like not so stressed about things. Just like get to it, like then I will get to it. And keep on top of everything and update everyone on like the process and the progress and all the fun stuff.
So I'm curious. So do you do all the design and editing and everything yourself, or do you have people that you contract with, or what's your process with that?
Well, I have 2 editors on my team. I do have I do like a couple of the covers I have done myself. But I know my limit, so if I know that it's a style that I can't do, I will pay a cover designer to do it for me. Thankfully, Supernatural Supermom I done myself. It's come out really, really good.
Nice.
So very happy with that. But I know some styles I'm like, I think that's a bit beyond me. I'm gonna have to get someone a little bit more qualified.
Yeah, there's some things you can do. Well, it's like you said about knowing your limits and knowing what your own skills are, right? And knowing when to get someone else to help is also a lesson. I think that you don't have to do it all yourself, right? You can find other people.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, and the editing I do myself as well. Like I go through stages. Like I'll go over it once, and then I'll have, if I think that I might have missed out, or I think there might have been a heavier editing needed, then I'll pass it on for a fresh pair of eyes if I can't see it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's more of like the larger works, or my own. So I get blind to my own.
Yeah.
Like I can't see mine, so I'll be like, you have a look at that and tell me if I've missed something, because I'm just going blind here. The lines are all blurring. And then like she'll point it out, and I'll see it, and I'll be like, all right, got it.
Yeah, definitely.
Mine's the dialogue tags. That's my curse. The dialogue tags. I'm like, ugh. Cut down on the dialogue tags. It's a bit. I just like commas, you know, just they just appear out of nowhere. I don't know how it got there. It just happens.
Yeah.
At the moment, other than doing a very last tweaking of The Storm Within, I'm also editing Shadow Magic and The Silent Assassin and The Feathered Accomplice, which hopefully will all be out in a couple of months. So it's going to be a fair bit out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do for like book launches when your anthologies come out? Do you do like book launches when your anthology comes out?
Yeah, I'm planning on actually doing a virtual launch on. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Kumo Space. So it's Kumo Space. So it's this online platform. It's free for up to 30 users at once, and you actually use your kind of like your Zoom camera or whatever. So it's the same in that way, but there's a virtual space. It's like a video game. You can walk around and you can go in the pool and you can pick up drinks and stuff. And so it's kind of like having a hangout in person. So I think that's my concept right now for a book launch for the anthology.
Nice. I'm thinking of I'm looking at doing it both, like online as well as face to face. Like for the other authors, I think it'd be more ideal to do it online, but they can do it face to face on their end because they're different regions.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it's two countries can do it like spontaneous kind of timing or one after the other, but at least like they get their like launch day and get to like sell their books in person. Arrange that, give them ideas like where to set up and what to look at, like if there needs to be fees and licenses and that, because there's different countries, different things.
Absolutely.
And then I'll do the same with my books, which I'll probably do like I'll do half day face to face and then half day online.
Right. Yeah.
So like I'll do like a barbecue or something.
Nice.
And invite people and do a book launch that way, and then to the wider public online.
Yep, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's like, especially like during the summer, it's nice to have a barbecue and stuff. But I thought in winter time, so I think it'll be more set either like a pub or a club or a cafe or inside and just have a buffet kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
All right, well, I think that's all I have to say. Did you have any other questions or comments?
What's last question? What's your plan for the future with your publishing company? What's your end goal?
End goal. Well, I think the current plan, sort of more short term, but in the next couple of years, is to really kind of consolidate and get firmly established. So not to stretch too far, but to kind of establish and then build from there. So going back to the community thing, like I also Off Topic also does online writing workshops, and I'd like to do some either annual or maybe twice a year in-person writing retreats at like a nice cabin or campground or something. So to kind of really foster that connection between the writers that are at Off Topic and other people as well. I'm going to be open to anyone. So that's kind of the immediate plans.
Mine's like, my plans are more like long term, like eventually just being able to build an outside office that's not in my house, and be a bigger company and just grow. And be bigger than Gryffindor, which I'm determined to reach. It may take me decades, but I will get there.
Yeah, it's a good goal.
One day I'll be able to say it. I'll be like, this is the day, that I am bigger than Gryffindor.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I think that is everything.
Great. Well, good luck with your projects going forward.
My podcast. So, thank you for coming.
For having me.
That's all right. Yeah, if you can send me the links for the books and for the websites and stuff, and I'll add it to the description along with your website.
Great, yeah.
Go and check it out.
Great. Let me know when it's gone live.
I will do.